All right. Good morning again. And finally, after country comes the people who make everything possible. Um, our very, very generous and kind donors and members through our special partner institutions, senior special partner institutions, corporate members, and individual members, without whose generosity we would not be here today. So once again, good morning to everyone. I am the chairman of the Agribusinesses and Countryside Development Foundation, Julius Barcelona, in partnership with the Management Association of the Philippines. As I mentioned earlier, we would not be here without your generosity. And the ABCD Foundation is indeed a member-supported nonprofit organization. If you're joining us here today this morning, thank you very much for joining us for what will be a very important session this morning, as we are joined by the administrator of the Philippine Coconut Authority, here to talk to us about, the status of our industry here in the Philippines. If you are joining us here 2 weeks later through our free uploads in social media, welcome, and we hope that you find today's session very educational. If you are interested in joining us as a member and engaging with our speaker and with our wide range of agribusiness and countryside development organizations, do consider joining us as a member. We are here through the generosity of our members and our donors, and we would very much love to have you on board. Our links are in the description. You can email us, introduce yourself, and let us know why you'd like to join. Happy to have you on board. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, our session today is quite important because we are talking about coconut. To share a personal story, my personal business, Harvest Agribusiness Corporation, is a trader in agricultural materials and inputs, and I receive multiple multiple inquiries from overseas suppliers every single day saying, we'd like to sell our potting mix, potting media, potting materials in the Philippines. And usually I ask what's it made of, and they say it's made of coconut fiber. And I'm very surprised because they source their coconut fiber from Sri Lanka, they source their coconut fiber from Bangladesh, from India. And I usually have to tell them, in the Philippines, you have a lot of coconut. I don't think there's a need for us to do that. In fact, my own company actually makes our own potting media using local materials already. So it's doing quite well for us. And I feel that really our coconut industry has been rather unfairly underrated for a while. I don't know if you agree with me, sir, Mr. Speaker, but definitely there are a lot of things that I think we can do for the improvement of or the development of our coconut industry. And I hope that our session today will help our membership think of ways wherein we might be able to work together to make these improvements. So without further ado, I'd like to invite our president, Mr. Ernie Ordonez, to please introduce our speaker for this morning and to fire us up for our session moving forward. I do have to apologize. There is no dress code. I'm only dressed up because I have a meeting to get to immediately after this. But I will leave you in the capable hands of Ernie and Robert for today's session. Ernie, please come in.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like you, I'm also dressed formally because I have a meeting. You're meeting the Israeli ambassador. I'm meeting someone more important than him. I'm meeting Administrator Cruz in an intimate 6-person meeting where the heads of the 3 biggest companies are going to meet him. And we will pursue there what our foundation wants to do, which is technology transfer. It is my honor to present what may be one of the most important, if not the most important, forum in the last 14 years. That would be the head of the Coconut Group. And just to let you know, the Coconut Levy, which he is, very influential in doing, has 75 billion in cash. And with other non-cash items, it's more than 110 billion. So he's going to preside over how this happens. And as we know, coconut, as you said, is underrated. It has the most number of poor farmers, and it has the greatest potential in many people's opinion, which has not been tapped. That being said, it is my honor to introduce Administrator Bernie Cruz. I'd like to say that my farmers, our farmers, have been dealing with PCA for the longest time, more than 3 decades. And they say this is the best person they've met who is really concerned with farmers. He's not only interested in helping and committed to the small people, but in addition, he's a very competent manager, having been the Secretary of Agrarian Reform under the Roy administration, and thank goodness he's agreed to serve under this administration as the administrator of Philippine Coconut Authority. His background is he studied civil engineering, but added onto that another degree in public administration. So they say we need engineers who are systematic and database. That's what he is. But he's coupled that with the unique need to know how to manage government. So he has both degrees under his hat. In addition to that, he's so well respected not only by farmers but also the managers. And the three top people of the three top companies, I'll tell you who they are, right? They are the Century, they are the Axelum, and they're Kempress, the heads. The heads came with me to meet key people of the Presidential Sector Advisory Council, headed by Mr. Boitis, which reports regularly and directly to the President of the Philippines. And they really respect this man, and they're looking forward to meeting him. And they meet him spontaneously, but now it will be very systematic on what we can do to help following our mission and vision and ABCD, transmit technology to farmers. He's been in the papers recently. He's going to plant millions of trees for the first time, etc. So I'd like to request him to do two things in his talk. First, maybe the first 5 minutes, tell us, Bernie, how you got into this and why you devoted yourself to serving the people instead of going to a big corporation, and what brought you into this, so we know you personally. And we'd like to let you know that before our key result areas forums, now it is action from the forums, and therefore we want to interact with you between forums. We want to know you personally, so please give us 5 or 10 minutes of your personal life and why you're in this. And the second request is that we would like you to tell us how we can help you. Now, we are not students. In a sense, we're students of agriculture, as we all should be, but we're businessmen primarily. And so we want to know how we can help you. Examples of how we help you is, for example, spreading your word to other groups, especially businessmen, farmers and fisher folk, etc. Though you're already well connected with that. Before we start, just 2 things. In addition to asking you to give us 5 to 10 minutes of your personal life, so we get to know you personally, and asking you to inform us how we could help you and your great vision, we'd like to ask 2 things. Number 1, can you stay with us up to 9 o'clock or later than 9 o'clock? Bernie Cruz.
Yes, sir. I can stay until around 10 o'clock siguro.
Wow, that's terrific. That's fantastic. Yeah, because Bernie, you're very generous, because our 8 to 9 formal session is broadcasted worldwide thanks to our young board of directors, all of whom are below 45 years old, except one. Because of them, we went from like 40 people a week to 500 people. We're now around the world, including Middle East, America, Asia, etc. And our emphasis is actually what our departed chairman said, not just knowledge, but making the knowledge work for the benefit of poverty reduction. And you're primed for that because you're the head of this thing. First of all, you have money, and second of all, you're dealing with the poorest sector in the country. And with your track record, wow, that's really great. No? So thank you for staying up to 10. Secondly, can you give us your office number or contact number? Because people around the world might call you because they're listening. 2 weeks from now, it's open to all for free. And they'd like to know a number, maybe your office number or whatever number. Can you give us a phone number? Because it's free now to call on Viber from America and Asia. Could you give us now verbally your contact number, please? Meantime, let me tell the significance of this coconut, right? For information, as we know, we're in deep trouble in the international sphere, where coconut hopefully will be our champion. Our trade deficit has ballooned by 30%, right? to a very disappointing amount. And basically that amount is $12 billion. I mean, the whole country, the whole area is exporting, and we are importing more than we export. The rest export more than we do. No? And given this, right, the Philippines is exporting 7 billion, Thailand 36 billion. If we exported the same as Thailand and we were ahead of them, we don't need any overseas people anymore, because all that will be gotten for exports. We didn't do that, right? And you will be our champions for lifting agriculture from its difficulty, and with your competence and commitment, I'm honored to introduce you, Bernie Cruz. Bernie, please take it away.
Okay, good morning, everyone. And I am very thankful that you invited me here to be your one of the, I will not call it speaker po, but part of the group who wants to revitalize the coconut industry. I would like to start with the request of my good friend, Mr. Ordonez, Undersecretary Ordonez, nung nakilala ko po. Nag-i-start pa lang po ako noon during Cory time. I'm still up in the hills. No? For your request po to start with yung aking personal life. No? Tama po yun. I am a student of civil engineering, but unfortunately hindi po ako nag-graduate dahil hindi ako nag-graduate noon dahil po wanted na ako. I was issued an arrest warrant signed by then Secretary Enrile and then President Ferdinand Marcos, senior po, mas maganda. And I was forced to go uphill and find my way to help the people in the countryside. No? And then I just came back from the hills when the peace talks opened during Cory government. I was part of the security forces of the NDF panel. After that, when it collapsed, I was forced to go uphill again. But unfortunately, I broke my left leg. So I find my way to the cities and start doing some errands, no? Para po mag-heal yung aking legs. And fortunately, mayroon akong kaibigan during the Ramos campaign in 92. And doon po nag-start yung aking government career when I entered the campaign and helped the campaign of then President Ramos. And I was asked, after he wins the presidency, I was tasked to help then PCYA. PCYA is the Youth Council, Presidential Commission on Youth Affairs. And then it was transformed to NYC now, National Youth Commission. So yun po, doon nag-start yung aking career sa government. And then briefly kay President Estrada, I was with Boy Morales, who was also my mentor during my days in the hills. No? And at the same time, after a brief stint with the Estrada government, ako po ay nabigyan na naman ng chance during the Arroyo administration, and I was tasked to be part of the National Anti-Poverty Commission. was Undersecretary then, and for operations, and I am in charge of the basic sectors. That's how I managed to continue my love for the service to our poor families, no, in the countryside, both in the countryside and now also in the urban areas with the informal settlers po. So doon po yun, and then after that I was suot ko po yung t-shirt ngayon. I wore it, talagang sinadya ko po because that's my first love, no. I was tasked to be Undersecretary sa DAR, no, as a special concern during the Arroyo administration. And then sa Timely Pinoy po, I really wanted to be out of government, and I started some business, no, for my family. So yung mga tinutulungan ko pong farmers, doon po tuloy-tuloy po kaming nagtulungan, and it produces yung aking ngayon, isang love, no? Yung rice production somewhere in Tarlac and Nueva Ecija. So yun po yung aking personal na ngayon na parang income generating. Alam niyo naman po sa government, mahirap pong medyo mababa yung sweldo, at kailangan po nating dagdagan yon by doing some private things, no. So fortunately nung panahon ni President, and po pala, at that time nag-strive ako na makatapos ng business ad, no, sa isang maliit na sa Cavite. So nakakuha po ako ng degree sa business administration. And fortunately after that, dito sa panahon naman ni President Duterte, I was asked again to be part of the Department of Agrarian Reform, this time as the head of foreign assisted projects. So ito po yung naging tulay ko naman para dun sa mga development work, no? Development work sa rural areas ng Mindanao. And Mindanao and Visayas, no? So mostly nandun po yung ating mga projects at that time sa DAR. So yun po, naging kwento. Tapos kaya ko po suot yung DAR is because naniniwala ako na naging maganda po yung ating programa doon, pero hindi ko sinasabing mali or hindi ko sinasabing, pero may kulang. And that is what I'm about to impart now, no. So yun po, ang po natin is dalawa, massive replanting lang po, massive replanting, and yung use of new technologies. Yun po yung ating dapat na i-push, at yun ang dapat natin pagtulong-tulungan. At ang nagpapasalamat po ako dito sa group ng from Management Association with the Philippines. Kasi po ito yung kailangan nating katulong kasama. Kasi po ang sinasabi natin is yung farmers po natin is okay, magaling po sila mag-farm, pero kailangan po natin silang tulungan, kailangan natin ayusin. Yung dun po sa management, yun po ang kulang tayo. Management po, and yung ating
replanting.
Paano ma-utilize, no, the whole nut. Kasi sinasabi natin tree of life ang coconut. So marami po nagrereklamo na mababa ang presyo ng copra, mababa ang presyo ng oil ngayon.
Bernie, can you give us the number again because you were cut off? What is your first number?
My personal number po, I'm giving my personal number is +63 917 791-9902.
Correct.
Okay. I'm also putting on the chat box for the other numbers wherein you can reach me 24/7.
My
092.
God. Robert, before I leave, because I'm monitoring everything and I'll be with Bernie in person at 10 o'clock. But I'd like to say this, no? Bernie, we're saying the very fact, no, that you gave us your personal number instead of office number is consistent with your entire life. You've always been accessible to everyone, especially to the poor. So we thank you very much. And people around the world listening, let me tell you, this guy is the real thing. You know, I did background check on him. I talked to a lot of people. They really love this guy. So in addition to commitment, he's got talent. So with our input, business, because he's not a businessman, with the input of people like Robert and you, we can help him. And he's very open. When I told him, can I bring the top 3 guys to see you on what suggestions they have in a formal way, he said yes automatically. He didn't say, you know, I'll think about it or one by one, whatever. He's so open. So anyway, please proceed, Robert.
Yes, I'm temporarily pitching in as moderator, and then maybe we could like to we value your time. So go ahead, Bernie. Please share the 2 things you said: massive planting, replanting, new technology, and then the management. Yeah, carry on.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
That is the secret of success is really there are a lot of room for us to plant. First, we have to replace our 50, 60-year-old trees, no? Who the average yield per year is 44 nuts per year, no? And as I said, when I'm talking with the president, when I talked to him last June 29, only if we replace it with new varieties that can produce 100 nuts per tree per year, without increasing the price, we can double the income of the farmers. So we have all those varieties, and in 3 years' time, it will start bearing fruits. So if we can replace, no, around the 300 million plus trees that we have, and we can add up, then we will have again, you know, the coconut industry as a top dollar earner. As of now po, the demand for the coconut water alone, what I'm telling about a while ago, what can the Management Association of the Philippines can help our farmers is that how to utilize or how to make use of the whole nut, because everybody is complaining about the copra prices going down, while it's true, you know, it's because our farmers is still using or practicing the old time copra making, you know, which is what we say is that the processors are having a lot of troubles because of the contaminants. Our market now are demanding for a cleaner, no, and organically produced, no, products. So if there is a lot of contaminants like the aflatoxins and now the musmoa, because of the traditional copra making, then the prices will really go down. But we are introducing new technologies, no? And that we can be of help to our farmers. Also, if we can utilize, you know, the demand for coconut water now worldwide is very really hot, no? Because a lot of people are doing away with the soft drinks and the carbonated drinks with a lot of sugar. So coconut water is more healthier for them. So that's why it's really a big market is waiting for us. Also uh, the shell, coconut shell, if we can utilize it, there's a big market also for that, and also the uh, coconut husk. Most of the time we can see it in the fields, no? Just rotting. So instead of the farmers can earn from it, it contributes to the greenhouse because once it's rotting, it emits methane. No? As I was saying, kung magagamit, if we can utilize the whole nut, the farmers can get more. We can get more, and they can earn more. What I'm telling or what I'm saying, it's not just in the coconut product. It's not just in the coconut product, but the whole agricultural productivity in our country. We are missing, no? Because we destroyed commercial productivity. When I was with DAR, we make a study. When we distributed land without the support for commercial productivity, we went into, from commercial farming, we went into subsistence farming, which is very bad because we have to feed a lot of people. That's why before we are exporting a lot of our agricultural product, but now we are importing almost everything, because we destroyed the commercial production. And what I'm saying now is that with the help of a management association, we can go back to commercial production without consolidating the land again. But we just have to include our farmers in our commercial productivity. So just imagine how much money are you going to spend just to accumulate 50 hectares. No? But if we can organize the farmers and give them the management components which is lacking for the land to commercially produce and make a lot of income from it, by just doing the management thing. I can explain it firmly, in a personal way. No, it's hard to explain it here, but we can do a lot by doing the what I'm espousing before, the mega farms, by consolidating productivity without consolidating the land. So thank you po again for having me here, and I hope that this will not be the last, and we can support each other, help each other, so that we can serve our farmers and we can go back to where we are before in agricultural productivity, because we really need. We are an island and we really need to feed our people. No? Pag hindi na po tayo makapag-import, if we cannot import, how can we feed our people here? So we need a crossroads. We are in the crossroads now because if we continually, if the farmers will not continue producing, and then we will have a concrete jungle all over, and the productivity for our food, the food security will not be that. We cannot have food security at all. So thank you po, and again, maybe we can help each other po.
Okay, perfect. Bernie, salamat. Tama-tama. It's almost like 8:53, or we end the formal one, but and then we go questions and answers muna. So may we open this forum into questions amongst the members? Yes. Please, baka may question. Yes. Okay. So here, any questions, guys? Okay. We have a few minutes. Yes. while waiting, siguro I'll start na, no? So Bernie, my first question is yung sinasabi mong yung 44 nuts a year, yung bagong hybrid to 100 nuts, how much is the incremental difference between the old nuts and the new technology nuts? Magkano yung difference mga or what?
Well, our mandate po is to give away itong mga planting materials, ano. And
Okay.
wala po pinagkaiba. It's the same. It will produce the same coconut. Only these are dwarf and hybrids, and they produce more. They produce more nuts, no. It's easier to harvest.
Mhm.
It's easier to process yung mga different parts of the coconut, no? And of course, one advantage is that they will not cut it immediately because there's no coconut lumber that can be used.
All right.
Because
Very good. Yes, Bernie, so you're saying now you're starting already to give away? Already? Nag-umpisa na ba yan or plan pa lang?
yeah, in partnership with the farmers themselves. So, in partnership with the farmers themselves, we just signed an MOU first week of August, no, and they are the ones saying if we can reach before the president ends, the president's term ends, if we can plant 100 million trees, then it's best that we can do it, no.
Okay. Maliit yung 100 million, Bernie. No, nandun ako sa Korea. Since we planted 3.9 billion sa Korea do sa mga open forest. So maybe tiplahin mo yon or 500 million. Yun ang ganun ang goal. Okay. And then
Yes.
short ka.
We're going to I wanted to plant more.
Yeah.
We have our fruit bearing trees is 300 million trees, no.
Okay.
All over the country, and that's a third of what we have, no.
Yeah, yeah.
If only we have the budget, the capability to do that. We are reorganizing po our coconut PCA, our PCA.
Yeah.
Because even PCA, we have provinces po that only 2 or only 1 employee in the province, which is a coconut producing province. So imagine that in a province you only have 1 PCA regular employee. So that's how bad the organization is. So that's why I'm partnering with different agencies. And different organization and farmers, so we can help each other revitalize the coconut industry.
Sure. Madaming gusto tumulong, which I'll connect you later on, like the Rotaries, etc. Now, we have a question from Cesar Gomez. Go ahead, Cesar.
Yeah. Good morning, Administrator Bernie Cruz. Thank you very much for an inspiring life story. And also, thank you very much for the 2 thrusts. I have just 2 rush proposals, you know, because I did a study on the coconut industry per request of Ernie Ordonez, which I presented to MAP ABCDF and to CAMP. Okay, first, the crucial aspect for me is what is our processing policy for the whole industry. But there are may kulatillas yan. For me, this requires studying of the global markets, importers and exporters, Thailand, Indonesia, and the like. So for me, 3 to 6 months, tapos na yan eh. But let me link this to the 75 billion coconut levy fund. What if the 75 billion is used to either buy or put up correct coconut mills owned by the farmers? Okay. So that's the point for me. But that's why konektado ito eh. We have not yet really thought through our processing policy for the coconut industry. And for me, there has got to be a global study. And think of using the 75 billion for the coconut farmers to buy or own or set up the correct coconut mills. Okay. I'm surprised. I mean, it's a question of somebody 75 million. I do not want to go into the backstories and all that, but 75 billion will be enough to, I think Pons Batugal before he died mentioned the need for 400 or 500 million replanting. Okay. So, saan din kukunin yung seeds na yan? Okay. Yun lang, yun lang. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. About the questions that you bring in. Okay, 75 billion. There's a law that was passed, the 11524, no? Modernizing the coconut industry. We call it the CFIDP, Coconut Farmers Industry Development of the Philippines. So, in that law, there's a 5-year period, and the fund is divided into not the whole fund. Is divided into several implementing agencies, and PCA is just one. The first year of implementation is last year with a 5 billion fund. This year, another 5 billion. And then 25, next year is another 5 billion. And then 25 is 6, 27 is 7, and then 10. That's how it is, five years. No? And then after 5 years, we have to review where we are.
Yeah, I think it was set up by the office of the senator or the congressman, but we see para tayo na straight jacket eh. That's my
that's the problem po, sir. Okay.
I'm familiar with the law, and it's really straight jacketing us. And it confines the small farmers because I think the funds are to be given to Philmec and to TESDA and the like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Confines the farmers to the small scale, to the village level processing, you know. But with
Yes,
75 billion, first, do we assume that the 75 billion is there? Let's assume it's there. Why not use it immediately? Both for massive replanting, because I think there's a good Mexican source. Malaki yung replanting possibilities. But aside from the massive replanting, think of the small farmers, you know, owning the coconut milk.
Okay? Yes, sir. That's
since you have a very activist background, this is for me a market adaptation of an activist background. So let the coconut farmers small, and that's their family, get to own it, either buy, put up, or be in joint venture with existing coconut mills. Okay, thank you. I have doctors, I have to leave. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's what we are trying to do now with the meager resources that we have. Fortunately po, even if we don't have that authority, as I say, we are the PCA, Philippine Coconut Authority, without the authority, because in the law that was passed, okay, there are 11 agencies, but actually it's 15 if you count it, because it may mga divided pa. Okay, each of the, as I compare it to the basketball team, you have 11 players, you give them each a ball without a coach. So how can you expect them to perform, no? But fortunately, because they are all friends of ours, we managed to have them into a convergence point, no? That we every quarter we meet, and then we talk about how we are going to contribute to each other's effort, how to go in one direction and utilize the program so that our farmers can maximize, no? For example, Philmec and Philippine Coconut Authority and CDA, the Coconut Development, the Cooperative Development Authority, by having the farmers organized into cooperatives so they can own shared facilities that will produce. No? For example, when I was talking to Governor Velasco of Marinduque, and we gave them the shared facilities, as I told them, if only you can produce, no? Our coconut farmers here, the cooperatives, can produce your own coconut oil, so you will not buy from the mainland anymore because you can produce your own. No, so that's how we are looking at it. Before po, coconut industry, if you remember, there is a CIIF, no, the oil mills, together with PCA. It's part of PCA actually. So it's a stabilization fund actually. That if the copra buying is very low, these oil mills will buy from the farmers direct. No, so that's the purpose po nun. We have the finance, the what's Senator Enrile is questioning now, the UCPB, diba? So there's finance, there's production, producing, there's a processing plants, and then there is the planting. There are three pillars of our coconut industry before. Ambassador Danding Coangco is the business side. Senator Enrile is the finance before, and Mrs. Lobregat, Congresswoman Lobregat before, is the planting and replanting. That's why we have the most, no? We are the largest in genome bank, no? But I don't call it bank because it's planted. That's why we have the largest research center based in Zamboanga City. So yun po yun. Yun po yung kwento ng ano. It's a complete set before, but now it's parang dismembered. And we are trying to do it again, slowly po.
Okay.
I hope that answers yung question.
Well, but yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have to go now because I have to go for a medical checkup. Thank you.
Well, okay. Good answer, Bernie. Well, okay, we have a question from Ike. Go ahead, Ike.
Good morning, Bernie.
Good morning, sir. Nice to
Yeah,
see you
how are you?
again.
Good.
Okay lang po.
Yeah. I think the better analogy would be an orchestra without a conductor. Oo.
Yes, sir.
Oo. Kasi kung bibigyan mo
Yamaha
ng
instruments.
coach, yeah, kasi kung bibigyan mo ng coach yung 11 players, baka maging playing coach yun.
Yes, sir.
Lalong gumulo. Diba?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir. Yes,
conductor
sir.
playing yung mga instruments, no?
Yun.
Pero may pyesa, Robert.
Yes, tama. Agree. Wow, fantastic analogy.
Useless yung conductor kung kanya-kanyang pyesa na naman. Diba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In political science, we have a term for that. We call it Balkanized.
Yeah.
No? Remember, nung nag-break up yung Balkan states, wala nang coordination. Nawala na yung federation. No? So, I think that's what's needed. But I think to begin with, we need to inventory. Sino ba yung kasama sa team? No? Nabanggit mo yung PhilMec. But I think kailangan din dyan ang irrigation eh. When I was in Thailand one time, nagulat ako, dinidiligan nila yung puno. Ang unang reaction ko, sabi ko, ang tatanga naman ng mga to. Bakit mo dinidiligan yung puno? Umuulan naman. Hindi pala. kahit may ulan, kailangan pala naka-schedule. No? And then yung palang dinidilig nila, may fertilizer, liquid fertilizer. So meron talagang, what do you call that? May irrigation program, may fertilization program. No? So aside from NIA, who else? Baka kailangan mo ng electrification. No? Kasi kailangan ng kuryente yung mga farmers. No? That's what I mean. I think we have to establish sino kasama sa team, anong mga piyesa kailangan, anong Yamaha instrument ang hawak ng isa. Yun. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Okay. Po. Yes, sir. Actually, tama po kayo. Fertilization is a one key para tumaas yung productivity. No? And magugulat po kayo, you'll be surprised, the coconut needs salt as fertilizer. Unfortunately, we're importing salt, no? Hindi kasya yung napoproduce natin locally. And there was a instruction that we support our salt industry, so we must buy locally produced salt. No? But it increases by 80% yung yield, no? If we fertilize. The farther it goes out from the sea, no? Yung coconut natin, it needs fertilization, and one of the best fertilizer is salt.
Very good, very good. Yes. Oh, interesting to know that. Asin lang pala. Ay, ang dami nating tubig paligid sa atin. So ironical, no? Okay. Any other questions that what do you call that? We would like to ask, guys. Right.
If I may add, Robert, no?
Sure, go ahead.
I wonder if DTI is part of the team, no? Kasi kailangan meron din silang binibenta eh. Di ba? Mayroon ba silang influence sa product development? Pati design center dapat kasama dyan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, if
yes,
I may
sir.
add, Bernie, alam mo, marami ngayong mga movement. I heard about this 1 billion bamboo. No? Nag-advocate ng bamboo, may nag-advocate ng saging, may nag-advocate ng kape. I don't know who is coordinating all of this. Eh. Kasi kung mas maganda ang coconut, why focus on bamboo? Diba? Somebody has to study the economics of this. Eh. Hindi yung kanya-kanya. Diba, Robert? Kanya-kanya.
Exactly. So that's the same analogy as you said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yung DTI po is part, and they are parang in charge of the market development ng ating different coconut products. As I said, we have more than 60 products na that is being parang exported worldwide. Yung ating coconut products. The whole nut.
Market development, Bernie, has to start with product development. And I think it has to start with DOST. What is DOST doing to help you?
DOST, they're part of it. Picard is part of it, and may budget po siya for research. No? And we are closely coordinating naman na po with them ngayon. Opo.
All
right. So now it's almost 9:15. We'd like to end it and then introduce a new formal questions and answer. But Vicky has a question yet. So the last question, maybe Vicky, you can address.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bernie, Sir Bernie, for all this information that we're getting. Tanong ko lang, yung coconut ba pwedeng i-plant sa flat land, sa rolling land, miski anong klaseng terrain, pwede yan? Kasi ang mga IT people nandun sa bulubundukin, ang dami nilang raw land na pwedeng magamit sana. So kung pwede naming ma-introduce. So gusto ko lang malaman kung anong klaseng terrain. Pagkatapos isa pa, sabi mo kasi seawater, salt is a fertilizer. So that means pwedeng idilig si seawater? Ganun ba yun?
Hindi po pwedeng idilig ang seawater, unfortunately. Salt lang po doon sa puno, 1 meter no sa paligid. And only 2 kilos a year, no? Yung ating salt Hindi po pwedeng idilig yung diretso yung salt water. May problema po. Anyway,
bakit salt? Pwede. Yung raw salt.
hindi ko po ma-explain, hindi ko pa rin po ma-explain paano. Tanungin ko dun sa technical people namin. Ang ano po, we have dun sa tungkol sa tanong niyo sa IP lands, no? We have 90,000 dun sa ating list ng coconut farmers. We have 90,000 IPs na talagang nagfa-farm into coconut production, no? 90,000 IPs nasa list po natin. And yung ating suitability almost everywhere, no? Pwede yung coconut. Basta below yung kanyang 600 meters above sea level po. Madalang na, or it cannot bear fruits the same way dito sa lowland if it is 600 meters above.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good. Noted yan. Maraming salamat.
There you are. And basically, we'd like to present this certificate of appreciation to Administrator Bernie Cruz as resource speaker given this day, of course. And basically, of course, this Tuesday and the month of August, we'd like to signed by Julius Barcelona, who is the chairman, and Ernie Ordonez as the president. So thank you so much, Bernie, for being our speaker today. Yes, and what we call that, we would like to, of course, give everybody a big hand for Bernie for taking his really unrelenting support to the coconut industry. No? So, okay, so we'll now have almost like it's 9:20, so we have more or less more than 30 minutes for informal question and answers. Okay, ito yung next speaker natin sa September 3.
Oh, he's one of the new members and I guess board of trustees. So Aristelo Asilo, who will talk about nutrition entrepreneurship. We will mail you the details for you to join us next week. Thank you.